Okay, let's dive right in because something pretty incredible is happening across Africa right now, and you probably haven't heard much about it. It's this quiet revolution that's literally building the continent's digital future from the ground up. We are talking about the dawn of a brand new compute-powered continent.
And it all kicks off with this really bold, powerful statement from the visionary Strive Masiyiwa. Now, this isn't just some feel-good slogan. This is the core idea behind a massive, continent-wide infrastructure project. So today, we're going to unpack what this really means, and more importantly, how it's actually being built.
Look, we're not just talking about some company expanding its business here. This is so much bigger. What's happening is the construction of Africa's entire AI backbone. For the very first time, this is about laying the foundation that could decide whether the continent leads or gets left behind in the global digital economy for decades to come. But let's take a step back and ask a really basic question. Why does any of this actually matter? I mean, who cares where your data is stored or where your code gets processed? Well, the answer gets right to the heart of a huge historical challenge that Africa has been facing for years. And that challenge is what's known as the compute sovereignty gap. You see, for years, African innovators, startups, developers, they've had to look outside the continent for the digital tools they need. And that created this kind of endless cycle of dependency. And this slide, wow, it just lays out the two paths so clearly. The past was all about that digital dependency, right? Renting computing power from servers in Europe or the US, which led to a brain drain of incredible talent and really having very little control over African data. But the future? That's a totally different story. It's about owning what they're calling AI factories at home, attracting that talent back, and having full control over the continent's own digital infrastructure. So, what is compute sovereignty? Let's break it down. In simple terms, it's digital self-determination. It's the power for a continent to own and manage its most valuable digital assets. It means the benefits of its data and its innovation, they stay right there, in Africa. Okay, so how do you even begin to solve a challenge this massive? You don't just talk about it, right? You have to build. And that is exactly what Cassava Technologies is doing. They're taking on this incredible project to construct this AI backbone from the ground up. And this isn't just some plan on a whiteboard. This is happening right now. Cassava is building these AI factories, and get this, they have partnered with NVIDIA, the world leader in AI chips, to make it happen. They're offering something called GPU as a service, which is a game changer. It means African developers can finally train complex AI models right at home. And major players are already lining up. Banks, telecoms, and even partners like the Rockefeller Foundation, who are focusing on AI for critical areas like agriculture and health. I mean, just imagine using local AI to predict crop diseases or to give local health workers new diagnostic tools. It's huge. And this quote, "Compute is the new oil." It just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Back in the 20th century, all the wealth came from oil reserves. While in the 21st century, the most valuable resource on the planet is computing power. Owning the infrastructure to process data is literally like owning the oil fields of the digital age. But building the physical infrastructure, all the hardware, that's only half the battle. The other half, and you could argue it's the most important part, is about the people who are going to power this whole revolution. Take a look at this number, 10 million. It's a massive, massive figure, and it represents an incredible call to action. And that is Masiyiwa's vision. See, he's not just thinking in servers and fiber optic cables. He's thinking about an army of builders. He's calling for a new generation of 10 million Africans to upskill and move from just using AI tools to actually building with them, solving African problems with African data. And what this creates is what you could call the Great Career Shift. The whole idea here is that Africa's future wealth won't come from the old traditional industries. It's gonna come from digital innovation. The next generation of billionaires, they won't be industrialists. They'll be coders. And this opens up entirely new career paths. AI infrastructure engineers, data governance analysts, MLOps specialists. I mean, these are jobs that barely even existed just a few years ago. So if you're a young person in tech in Africa right now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds amazing, but what does it mean for me? How do I become one of those 10 million builders? Well, the good news is there's a pretty clear and actionable path laid out. It's really a roadmap. It starts with learning the core skills. You got to know your Python, your data science, your machine learning. Then, and this is key, you apply them locally. Solve a small problem in your own community. From there, it's all about getting involved.
joining developer programs, sharing what you're learning to inspire others, and, crucially, think in decades. This isn't a short-term thing. This is about being a long-term builder. And that long-term vision, that's really the secret sauce to this whole story. This isn't some flashy overnight success. No, it's a patient, deliberate, and quiet strategy to build a continental-scale tech empire. And let's be really clear about this. This is not some future fantasy. The groundwork is already there. The fiber optic cables are in the ground, the data centers are built, the AI clusters are being installed as we speak. The physical system is being connected and is ready to be powered on.
And this final quote just captures the spirit of the entire thing perfectly. It's a declaration of self-determination. It's a proactive movement that isn't waiting for the rest of the world to give it a green light. The motto is simple: we must build.
So we end on this question. The foundation is built, the hardware is in place, and the system is ready to go. The only ingredient that's missing now is the people, the builders, the coders, the visionaries who will take this incredible new infrastructure and use it to create the future. So the real question is, what will they build? And what happens next?